found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and we have wonderful guests. And I have a wonderful guest that everybody knows and likes, and she's a seer and many other things as well. And we're going to talk about some very interesting topics today. And let me bring Jenny Lee on. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Well, we had a few technical difficulties getting started. Oh my God. I didn't know if I was going to get off the ground or not, but thankfully we got it all worked out. So
yeah, it's just the energy's been crazy. And I mean, I told everybody it just feels like we're like this electrical system lately, and you can feel everything, and it's just it's crazy.
I get shocks.
I know it's crazy right now that you're spiritually, it's just I'm thinking they better put an extra coating around us soon or we're not going to make it. That's the way I feel, because we're just so vulnerable to energy now, and just the way it's coming in, it's just crazy. Seriously. It's
yeah, it is. I'm glad to hear somebody, it's not just me.
Yeah, it is. Because I think everybody's trying to grasp what reality is anymore. And right now we're not in between a reality process right now. We're in between these waves of things changing.
Oh, that makes sense.
Our body is trying to flow with it. And it's just like, oh, this ain't good, So
somebody says too many, this is so true. This happens on my channel. I'm sorry, I'm sad. I know I'm shadow banned, and probably Jenny is too, for that matter. But they never people don't get notified for my shows for some reason. They used to many years ago, but not anymore. So anyway, that's just the way it is. So anyway,
that's crazy. Yeah, how
things
are changing. And then like I've been doing these downloads for a while, and then there's been a consistent pattern of stuff that I drew in the past is starting to really come to, like when we did the I told you before, we did the angelic here and there, and that showed up on that clock. And then now I did a post on Instagram for ruby slippers. I did that back in June. And then I went and looked yesterday on this one. I gotta read this to you because I posted this, and it's just because I was really persistent about what was really going to happen here. That remember I kept telling you we own everything, right? And then I did a post on it, and I'm telling you, people are getting offended over it. They're like getting upset because I did this. It's like, how can this happen? I'm like, because now it's showing this process of this happening, and when I talk about it in the way, it says, don't forget what Trump signed before he left office. And I've said this, if we catch you and your assets and your personal items will belong to the people of America. Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, they took all their money. Just ask yourself, why isn't there any idols of Hollywood anymore saying anything? Because their money was seized overnight. And I did that in March 24th, and now you're seeing post of like these, that we own these corporations now. The people have them. The people are in control of the whole assets of things. You're seeing the transformation of some of this. And someone got really offended. And I was just like, why are you getting offended? This doesn't make any sense why you're upset. And
no,
then
that's great. That should be great news.
Unless you're working for the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I understand. I'm like, I've never seen this. You're upset because putting this print out, and I wanted it. I always want things confirmed. But this is the thing that I was just thinking, you should be happy about this? Why are you upset? I don't understand. And then the one that said the corporation that you will no longer see in the future, they will be, which is certain places, they will be shut down and never return. CNN, Fox News, most of the media outlets, they are present, but will be no longer to be around. The new system will come online and return to a real journalism again, and give you the true information to see for yourself. So that's going to change too. That was in this kind of a different process. So, it's just, I just never thought I'd see someone getting offended over something showing permission of things happening and verifying. But yeah, they got a mess.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm telling you, it's just strange.
So,
yeah,
like you said, unless they're working for the other side, of course, that would
right. They gotta be. They gotta be. So they were just upset. I was just like, I had to sit back for a while. Itchy skin, yes, the itchy skin is just ruling. Oh my gosh.
Let me put. Here's another one I wanted. Where'd it go? I don't know if I can find it. Local point. No, that's not it. Sometimes, this one here is the one I want. Here, she said that, will things shut down before the 11th? Oh, I thought it said it did shut down, or it would shut down. Do you know anything? I hate to give dates, that's
okay. So I think we're already there. That's the thing, the situation. Things have been so smooth. All you are about ready to see is certain zones that are going to be shut down in a more isolating way. But like I said, I already said that I feel that we're already in the money system. We're just not seeing our true account. And so everybody just wants it to happen like quick. But I don't think we're going to get past December. I think it has to be implemented in December. That's what I'm going to tell you. And it's not because of a date that we think we're fixated on the date. It's a fixation, an energy of that's saying it's solid. It's a strong growth. It's in that plate of energy. So December is it. I don't see it getting past that. I see everything more technology and advancement being implemented, but I think before we can shut down completely, the funding has to be there, because it will put people in a calm state. They don't have to worry, and they can just allow this transformation to happen.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Well, I think that's the only way it's going to happen.
That's good. That would be great.
So the thing is about this. We get stuck in that 3D. We want the timing because everybody's getting short on. We're at the end of this whole world, and how far it can reach funding wise and everything else. So everybody's at that cliff, and they need it, and they need it now. And so the thing is they can't go past. They can't wait till next spring. They can't wait till next year to come in. That's what I'm telling you. There's no way, if you want to look at it in a way, how far can we extend on this? How everybody, like I swear to God, in the one of the groups in Telegram, Wolverine, he's a nice guy, but boy, do people give him shit when he's and he's not a intuitive. He's not a empathic or anything like that. He's just a regular guy that knows about the advancement of the money. And I swear that poor guy gets worked over, because the date. So, and like I told you, Gail, that it's a green switch at the exact same time. It's not one country is going to be funded before the other country. I think it's going to be at the same time.
Wow.
Because
celebrate, dance.
Yeah, at the same time, whether it's one country that's 2 a.m, whether it's 6 p.m, but it's at the same switch at the same time. So, so that's what, and that's the thing. It's just, we're, like I said, we're feeling uneven. Our energy is just off the board right now, and it's just irritability, and people just want it done.
Well, it's been a long 3 going on 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is that long now, isn't it?
It is long. It is
long. People are tired of it. And of course, they're going to find out even more lies and things that are going to be disturbing. If they think what you told them was disturbing, oh my God, something that should be making them happy. That doesn't make any sense, but anyway.
Analyzing this in a way of this system here, I don't do that, and I think that's why they get offended, because I get my information from. I don't look at what's here. I just look at what's told, and sometimes it's really, really pushy, and and look at this, grab this, look at pull this. It's not. I'm not relying on a system to get my clarification. I'm relying on what comes in to get it verified at some point. That's what maybe it bothers them. I don't know. And so I'm just, because they're not seeing it the way that I have to get clarification through verification. So, so there's a lot of things that I've looked at through the years, and now they're just coming all together at once, and there's kind of just this up and down hill that they're coming in, and there's more. I mean, I'm going through another file of predictions I haven't even looked at in a year and a half, so I'm sure there's more to come.
Isn't that what happens though? All of a sudden, some prediction that you may have made a couple of years ago or a year ago or whatever, all of a sudden now it makes sense. Now it's showing.
Yeah, exactly. Now like this one. When I said it at the time, people are, they just like, and now they're like, they're seeing the clarification of that. And I'm like, so what's wrong with owning everything? I don't know. Unless you're a bad guy. So, they don't want the truth out there.
No, they sure don't.
They don't want the truth out there. And then, like I said, we can kind of talk about the predictions as the islands, as things our past is coming to the surface. Our history is coming to the surface. You're seeing the waters recede, and then you're seeing flooding, and you're seeing history on the shores bringing up that, and we can't run from it anymore. You can't hide it. You're seeing all these artifacts. People are digging up these artifacts. They're showing up in Antarctica, Egypt, everywhere, and they can't hide it no more. And so we're all looking for the truth now. All of us are looking for the truth. We're not, and so we're keeping our eyes wide open to verifying that information. And so what I think they've been telling me, like they told me yesterday, here's a persistent one, and I just posted it on Instagram, was London Bridge is falling down, London Bridge is falling down. Just hearing the song, I'm like, okay, I'll do the drawing. And then they made me put a crack in between the bridge and then all the money falling down. And I'm like, okay. But they also, a couple months ago, they were showing me the San Francisco Bridge. And I had to go back and look at that picture I did.
And what happened to that?
Huh? Well, I mean, they presented it bridges have to come down. Bridges. So it all has to come down too. So what I would say, and I did post watch for bridges and buildings too. So what I'm feeling is we're going into this bridge process now. You know, is that a sign of the collapse? Yes. Is that a sign of the new era? Yes. But also, I believe buildings that have monument and
That are satanic.
symbolism is coming down too. So that's on Instagram. Everything's on my Instagram post. I had to dig back through to look at it. But yeah, I posted that one last night. So they're focused on bridges.
What about dams?
They're not focused on that too much right now. They're saying the bridges.
The bridges first, maybe.
I
Because
saw.
I know that there are things under the bridge, under
Right,
dams.
there it
Are
is.
there things under bridges too?
Yeah.
Is that why they're coming
Bridges
down?
mean there's a meaning with them too, on them. So to me, it's the collapse of evil. Because they symbolize in that hierarchy of that, and bridges and water, rapid water. So those two combined together, of the water, keeping an eye on the water and how it's going to push certain things to the shoreline.
Mm-hmm. That's why Trump always said, "Watch the water." I think.
Right. Yeah. So
you technically said it before he did, right? Because you were told about it.
Right.
Awesome.
So that's what I'd say to what is the landmark to look at? It's the bridges. It's, and that song when they repeat it over and over and over. So it's not going to lay out the way exactly the song comes with it, I think. And they showed the way the crack, and it almost looks like the market. If you had to, the demise of money and the old ways. And that's why they had me, I don't know if you can see it. The old ways of doing things, it's just going to completely dissolve and crack. And I think also in London, because that is there, the old process is completely dismantled, and we're into the new process. And having a structure, this was it. You probably can't see it again, but it's like that.
Oh, wow.
The money, London Bridge falling down.
Oh, cool.
So, coming soon. So with this, and I said the crust of the ground of our surface will change, the crust of it. So how is that? Is something going to pierce out of it? Is it going to be more of a profound crack that you're seeing in the crust? Is water going to be rushing in? We are already dealing with unusual weather patterns. I mean, it was snowing in Hawaii, I think. And we don't have any snow here for this time of year and in December, which is very strange in Minnesota too. So
wow, that is.
Yes, it's very strange. So these unusual weather patterns. But another thing that's changing that I wanted to talk about is like mediumship for spirits and all that. There's a different traffic coming from that end of things too. You can feel and sense the traffic coming from that, and it feels like the floodgates of spirits are just all around us, and people are getting bugged by spirits even more than they were before, and they're sensing things more, and they're more sensitive to sensing things. And I'm having people buy a lot of mediumship class because they're like, I'm having this in my house, this is reacting, I'm having problems with this, I'm hearing a voice. I mean, just things are getting closer.
Can those spirits attack people in the house, their houses?
And I'm having them
discord or whatever.
I'm not getting, like a negative possessionist. I'm just getting attention. I need attention. I need understanding. I need you to understand my story. I need you. Because for me, for mediumship, I do extensive things in mediumship. I do the wills. I literally do wills when people have passed on and they didn't write a will, which is a lot of people. Okay. And then they come to me and they're like, we have all these items, we have all this money, we have all this account, we don't know what to do with it. And I literally go through item by item that the spirit's describing guns, where accounts out, where's money is, where things are hidden in the wall, all of this stuff. And they verify this. You can't just say it. They come back and they'll tell you what they found. And I have a lot of that. And then what people don't understand with doing, evaluating a property, I do evaluations on properties where they've hid stuff in the ground, which happens a lot. People, they're
stuff, huh?
they're worried about the banks, but I'm just telling you, the people that have money hidden in the ground, hidden in their house, that's a lot. And what I'm saying is, how long is a bank going to give them time to even exchange that out when that happens? Because you need to, think about how many people, and then you have these elders that hid money and forgot where they hid the money. You know what I'm saying? And deeds and wills. So I get a lot of that, to where the family even forgot about the guns or they were in the shop or all this stuff, and they had to remind me and all that stuff. So that's the whole thing about you're doing mediumship. It's the whole straight line of that DNA of where that item is, where they worked, what they did, where they had, if they had cancer, if they knew they were sick. But so then I do the land development too on that, is what's in the land and all that stuff too, and artifacts. But the thing is like I said, there's something's happening on the spiritual side of things too. We kind of get sucked into what we're doing, but you have to understand on the other side of these other realms, there's stuff going on too, that you can feel this anxious energy that's there too. And I
was feeling so much anxiety this morning.
That's what I'm saying. It literally feels like you've got electric shocks going through your arm, especially the overly sensitive people. And that's why they're like, there's got to point that they've got to put some type of coating around us, or we are just going to be on the floor soon. I'm serious.
They say the mental health is going to escalate substantially with people and with these kind of energies. I was feeling so much anxiety this morning that I actually used one of my own products, a peace patch, which reduced stress and so on, and it did help. But because I was feeling really high anxiety, I'm going, oh my God, it must be in the collective, because there was no reason for me to be feeling that way.
Yeah, it is extreme. But like, again, are we looking at things in layers? We're looking at our layer and sensitivity. Well, then you got the spirit layer that's coming in like big buses, a different type of big bus, that's trying to paw at us, get our attention for everything, not letting us sleep, at all. And and it's hard to describe it sometimes. And sometimes the downloads I get, I cannot get the words out fast enough as much as it comes. You know what I'm saying? When they're coming in, they're describing stuff. So I'm on overload on a couple layers of information that's coming, and then we have all this activity that's in our world. Our world is changing. Our crust is changing. And I was talking about all the earthquakes and all that's got to do a flip on that, and how the volcanoes are active. Everything is reacting to this whole world changing in every portion of it. You cannot put your head in the sand on this. There's no avenue to hide anymore. It's there, you know. But they're trying to hide, but it's impossible. And then, you know, to the very end, they're going to put false information to the very end because they, you know, I heard
that's obvious. Yeah.
We're going to take as many as we can with us, as many as we can. And so to the very end. And you're seeing in these communities and stuff like that, that's changing and everything like that. But also you're seeing, I guess, the negatives trying to get ahead of the game and confuse how many have actually been executed, and they're trying to confuse people in that area too.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I heard some things about some of that information is not reliable. And
well, I sent you something, and everybody from the UFO community and everybody from the intelligence community was all, we'll laugh about this one, was all executed. Everybody, you know, it showed Corey Good, Michael Jaco, all of them, even Kent Dunn.
Yeah. I saw that too. That's a bunch of BS bullshit.
He's not going anywhere. Yeah. He's very, and so, and the only one that was like the best and the purest was Elena Denon, and she was the golden savior child. I'm thinking, how much did you pay that guy to do all that, and everybody else is all dead except you, Elena Denon, and so. So, you know, it's just obvious, you know, we're just in a massive confusion of this. It's just send and throw more shit on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people really can't look through it and decide their truth. So it's just, like I said, everybody's leading them to the cliff, and that's why everybody the
one, you know, I saw that whole, somebody sent me that, a whole bunch of different memes like that. And well, you saw
I think I sent it to you because I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
I thought I sent it to you, but it doesn't matter who sent it to who.
Oh, yeah, it was something like that. I was just like, no.
The thing that slayed me the most about it, the best story there was the one about the bear that ate wasabi.
The bear.
Said, that's it. This is a bunch of bullshit because that was just
the bear.
The straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, and all those memes. I'm going, oh my god, really? Oh, that can't be. Yeah, and then I read that one and I said, okay, that proves it. This is.
I'm telling you, it was Michael. Who was it? Michael Jaco. And then
executed. Yeah,
Corey Good too. He was all in there. I'm thinking. Everybody from the UFO community, everybody in the intelligence community, they're all gone. They're all dead. There's only one angel among the group. And I'm thinking, well, if you reflect that and know that that is the opposite of the reflection, I'm thinking, are we getting desperate of trying to spin the truth here?
I would say.
You know, and that's what I was saying. Juan is eaten by a bear. The bear came back, right?
It is rare for a bear to even necessarily attack.
I was like, the bear came back and finished the job. You know, so, I mean, it was just, oh my God, there's desperation. But give me a break. Can't even get somebody to do it that's, you know, at least have an FBI or some CIA or make it look good. But geez. Well, that was another drunk night. Must have been a good post to put up. But, you know, and so, I mean, there's just such mix to really confuse you. And I'm not just talking about that community, you know, the banking system. This is the thing about the banking system. You know, I believe that they all had to sign that treaty by a certain amount of time. And if not, these other banks are going to be gone. And everybody's in that process. They think, well, they're going to be gone. They're going to take our money, and I don't believe it's that way. I already believe that that's protected and put where it needs to be. So, but the stuff go ahead.
And then when you're finish what you're saying, and then we'll go for this question here. Unless you want to just
Go ahead and start with it. If we're leaving our
Okay.
body,
If we're leaving our body to ascend, why would we need to buy silver or gold?
because we have a certain time we have to stay among here on this ground, this presence, and this time. So, and I'm thinking, well, is gold something that we would take? Because I think gold is eternal, you know. Mm-hmm. Are those hard metals something that we would take with us? I don't know. In that ascending process, because I have said that those quantum systems, I saw them here and there. So that'd be something I could ask Spirit about. Hey, yeah, I prefer Megan Rose over the rest of the clowns, over there, some of those. She's just reading that. I saw that post.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
It's okay. Let's prefer Megan Rose. Yeah, her heart's sincere.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to scroll down these questions and put them up there, and we can go through.
So anyway, I would think, because Spirit has always told me silver and gold, and also I talk about that blue stone that I've talked about for years. They showed me. It would come from the sky, and then when it gets to a certain level, that it would harden and it would be of value. So those are the things they've showed me. So I would think that wouldn't be just one world value.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's, I mean, you could look at it as that's the creator's monetary system in a lot of ways. Right. You know, the value. Anyway, I mean, it was here. It was, I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Jen, why is people try to scare people to buy things like you need food, seeds, water, eventually shutting down?
Product pushing. And I mean in an extreme, and you know that what I mean, extreme. It's like, and Gail, we've talked about this, where it's just, they start with a program of fear. They push the fear, and then they push in this big product. You know that, how they do that. And it's not a naturopathic thing. It's just, okay, it's a psychological thing that they do, you know. And so
your mind is easier to manipulate you when you're in fear.
Right, when you're in a fear process. And where if you're thinking on your own what you need, and a person offers that, and you're going to go back to that because you're going to remember that person sells that. Not to a point of, now, if you don't buy this today, you might die tomorrow, or you may not have food the next day. But I'm thinking, did you guys forget about the replicators? Did they forget about that? You know, I'm just saying. I think those are out already, and I think they will be, to submit all this, you know, this process of where we're running out of food. The replicators would be a process.
Are they able to make food the same as if you grew it?
Yes, I think so. I do.
Because artificial things that we've seen in 3D here are pretty bad.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It can't get any worse than what you think is food now that they're offering you. It can just get better.
Yeah, I heard that they found human DNA in those fake meats, the Impossible burgers and stuff like that.
Well,
I haven't seen the documentation on it, but
your chain corporations, those are going to be gone too, and you're going to see people crying, "No more Taco Bell, no more Burger King." I'm like, no, that wasn't food. Do you remember when Denny's, when we were young, and how Denny's was really good food? Remember? Do you remember when it was enjoyable? And
it was more real. Yes. Yeah.
And remember Walgreens, how they used to serve hamburgers and shakes, and it was so good. Do you remember that? Yeah. That's the thing, that this society does not, the younger generation doesn't know what real taste of real food is. You know what I'm saying? There was such a taste to it. And we thought society has told us that, you lose your taste buds. We figured it out. It wasn't our taste buds. You were taking the real flavoring and the real food out of that.
Exactly.
And it's not that we were aging gracefully. It's just, you were, ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, I fought against GMO foods too. They don't taste the same. I don't care what anybody says. And they're bad for you. And they cause a lot of problems because they're not natural. But anyway, moving right along. Let's see. Yeah, this is true. We know that the epicenter. This is back to what you were talking about on London Bridge is falling down.
What part?
The city of London, 1 square mile of London is a financial epicenter of the world. That's
right.
That's true.
That's what they're showing me. So when I had to put those together, I'm sitting there organizing, and sometimes I do a drawing and then I do the print, but they're literally telling me what I need, and they're like, just make it look like an earthquake through the bridge and make it an earthquake through the water. So I'm thinking, so what's going to come out of the water, and what's the crack, and they showed me money falling. So
that would make sense for the London Bridge in London.
Right.
There is a London Bridge in Arizona. I don't know if that has any significance.
Well, this was specific on London.
Yeah, because that would be the money.
They've showed me the San Francisco Bridge, and they put like a tsunami energy that's blue around that one, and how the waves would come in on that one and take it out. So that one's on Instagram somewhere too. So you think it's bad about channeling? Can you wait till if you'd ever listen to how when I draw and I'm arguing with spirit on how it needs to be presented, it's hilarious sometimes. I'm like, I don't think that's going to look good.
Well, it's nice to know they have a sense of humor.
They do. But so the waters, the bridges, the London bridges.
Bridges first. Yeah.
And just a crack in everything. Financial is just going to, and that has to do with corporations too. The whole thing is just
for sure. I think, between,
like they said,
and corporate collusion is big.
Right, and that's what they're saying on that prediction when I wrote down that information. So anyway, so we're in this process of this happening, and I already believe that we're in the gold standard. I already believe it's all in the background, like the Wizard of Oz. Everything's set up already. We got to follow. I think the next thing that you can plan on seeing me do a design of, which I've already done, is the gold bars on one side up like stairs and falling over the ice to where paradise is and where everything was hidden, and that we're in this golden age, this process.
On the other side of the ice wall, is that what you're saying?
The other side of the ice wall is paradise. The other side of the ice wall is a lot of information. The other side of the ice wall is a lot of stuff that they didn't want us to get access to, and that they're showing me a doorway on that one opening, like a completely different, like a giant doorway that needs to be accessible. It's just something that needs to be drawn out too. But yeah, having access to things that were limited to us before are going to start opening, that we can observe and pay attention and get access to that.
What do you think about this?
I get a person that calls, and all they want to do the whole time they want the reading, they just want to talk about the giants the whole time. They want to know everything about the giants. Some people have certain things that they got to know about, So it's interesting.
Maybe they have some kind of connection that they maybe not even be aware of, but that's what's, from either past lives or what have you. What about water carrying poisons? Do you think that's an issue? Do you think they're going to be doing that?
Nope, because I think the higher technology already is in line with that, and is already I think the advanced technology, people need to get really a grip of how advanced it is.
Yes, it's far more advanced than we even can begin to believe. I was told by a well, this is, you could consider this hearsay, but from a military general, I believe it was, that said that everything that you see on Star Wars, we have and can do.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yes.
it,
Completely. And
yeah.
and just like I was talking about, probably people who've been following me for a while, we talked about these home pods, and now Elon Musk is literally launching them, $15,000. But mine was more of a round, and it has the replicators in it. It has everything that you need in it, and it can move from place to place. So, and it moves by free energy. They showed that. So this is the thing: cars, clothing, idolizing, all that stuff is, people are they don't care anymore, and they're going into what they need and their peace. The peace is the new epidemic. To have peace, to have balance, to have peace, that's what matters. Women are evolving in the fact that they want balance. Okay, so is men. But what I'm saying is that is the new item that people want. They want to have that whole balance together, spiritually, to have just enough what they need, not to overly indulge, because the people who really think that the overly indulge and having abundance of that, a lot of those people are miserable. You know that, and I know that. I've been around those type of people all my life. And it's a disease of containment, control, and it's not doing any good. I'll tell you what, the ones who make great money and give their money away, they feel so balanced doing that, because there's a return and a balance with it. When you just covet and hold all that in, it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do the soul any good unless you give something. It feels good to give, and that's why we're dealing with this humanity process of projects. It brings an energy to Earth of giving. And just it's a recycle of things. And that's what I think balances everything. It's helping people in the time of need and helping humanity get to a balance they need. So to me, you can have millions and millions of dollars. And then those people who would just give it away, I would too. I'd give it away, because it ain't going to do my soul any good unless you have that balance. And look what it's done, as we've seen in our world now. What has it done? It's turned them evil. It has turned them into psychopaths. It has turned them to thinking of these just disgusting things, because it's not about helping humanity anymore. It was about dismantling it, and it turned that mind into just a funk of demon seed, is what I would call it. Demon thoughts, demon presence.
I think it was money. The fiat money was cursed with black magic spells.
Well, that too. It's just the essence of what it does to people.
Curse. Yeah.
Literally, I don't know about you. When I actually have cash, I don't like having it. I don't know how to explain it to you. Like, I'm better with cars. I don't like holding it. I don't like possessing it in the way of having it, because I just feels it does. What do people think? Money feels dirty in some way.
That
because
money is. Some of it is blood money. Let's face it.
It is. But the thing is as you get to a certain amount, you think, what is that amount that you're content with? People always, when they get to that point, they want to go further than that. What drives you to that? Is that more? I need more. I need more. You know what I'm saying? There's not a point of being content. It's a point of more, and that's the energy that pushes you into that zone of thing. And then it it devises the people into levels, and it makes them think, because you're not the achievement of where I am, you're beneath that. Let me tell you, some of the, like I said, some of the people that are bums on the street are the most giving people, the most
Oh
humble,
yeah, you know what,
most
Jenny,
smart.
I have worked with a lot of different groups of people, and I've said for the longest time, the poorest people are the most generous people.
Right.
They give you the shirt
They
off their back,
know
and somebody
the
rich won't give you
value.
the time of day.
Right. They know the value. We've had it. It doesn't do us any good. It's better to give it. And the ones that are on top of there, they're in fear of ever losing it because they cannot survive the way the people on the streets have survived because they've understood how to do that. They're in fear of being there. They're afraid of being in that level. And I want this whole society to be at one level across the board because it should be an equal process. Equal. You see it on YouTube. You see it on these bigger platforms. They can't get enough. They just want to get to the bigger goal, the bigger amount, the bigger events, the bigger just and them as they're preaching this, they're not seeing what they're doing. You know, these people are delivering money on the fact that they're looking for hope. They're looking for the truth. They're looking for a balance to get there. And if they feel society is set up that you have to access that costs a lot of money. And that's the whole process that you're seeing, right? You're seeing that costs thousands and thousands of dollars to access that. That's going to be gone. Because
So
when
much
you're funded, that whole money bag system's gone. It's gone. And that's why you're seeing the desperation. It's coming to an end.
Now they're being put, some of these people that had so much are being put in a position that other people were put in of not having enough to really get by with any dignity. And it's kind of like a poetic justice in a way.
It is. And then
they didn't have compassion or concern here. They had buku millions of dollars. They could have helped lots of people.
Right. They could have. But again, the ego is such a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It depends on the master you're serving.
Exactly. You can't serve two masters, right?
It is. It is. So.
Yep. Kevin says, and this is so true. You got. I'm on board with that, Kevin. I fought against GMOs when they were coming out because I had done the research, but nobody would listen.
No.
You know.
No. And so now our bodies, well, even though those devices are coming out, and you see it from the, the 1950s, how we were more in shape than we are now, but they did that on purpose. They know genetically what they had to do to certain
make us fat and lazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's just it was purposely done.
Yes, it was. It was, and it increased. I've had Stephanie Seneff on, and she's a scientist who studied glyphosate, and they can show charts of how the level of obesity and type 2 diabetes just went, like a bell curve, just kept going up and up and up once they were introduced into the population. And that's why we see as much obesity and diabetes and all these things.
It was created.
What you put in your mouth,
mm-hmm.
regardless of people don't want to hear that. Trust me, I know that one.
Right.
But okay, here's I don't know how much we have to talk about this carefully because this is on YouTube, and
I don't want to bring up that.
Yeah, subject. We're not going to talk about that because I already have 2 strikes on my Gail of Gaia YouTube channel. You even see that word, and they take you down.
Yeah,
and it's horrible. because it prevents people from knowing the truth unless they do their own research.
Right.
And that is a subject to look into. So, okay. Okay, somebody is saying they think Klaus Schwab is next. He can have my bugs. I don't know if that's just a bunch
You know
of
what I
fear porn too.
saw? What was a chicken brand that in the ingredients they had it? They're on that chicken brand. I'm not gonna. It starts with a T. That they are.
Oh
If you look
yeah,
at the ingredients,
I
and
know what you mean.
it's having that in there. So I'm like, well, I guess I won't be eating any of that brand now.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, if you're going to eat any meat, you might want to find a local producer.
Farmers market.
Or, well, yeah, the farmers market. But I don't. None of the farmer markets around here sell meat. Not that they sell fruits and vegetables, but not meat. So anyway. Here's somebody asking, wouldn't that be nice if that happened? It says, will the price of newer cars come down next year or at some point, or will we all just switch over to anti-gravity vehicles? I don't think
Yeah,
the
I
switch
think
over.
it is going to be. I don't believe we're like, okay, the phones that are coming out and the higher technology. I want you to try to think, well, everybody's driving this and I'm going to go back to a normal old vehicle and drive it that way. I don't think so. I think you're going to see, like I said, a vast process of higher technology just coming in strong. Vast,
right? Fast. You said
vast,
fast.
Vast, but yes, in a fast way, but yeah, very strong.
Have you seen some of the pictures of those cars that people got talked into, those battery operated cars that start on fire, they explode? You can't, I mean, it's incredible. And plus, and this is worth noting, when you purchase one of those cars, all the lithium in that car was mined by children.
Oh my goodness. No. Wrong. It's a bad thing. And that's just not thinking about where it comes from. And yeah.
Buying into the newest and latest in vogue thing.
Right.
Keeping up with the Joneses. Oh, this is interesting, Jenny. Look at this. They said that the one in Arizona is the original London Bridge. It was transported to Arizona. Really?
Well, all it said is the London Bridge is falling down over and over. So wherever that is, it's going to be
Maybe
London. But I think it's multiple.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
it
think
could
it's
be
just
more.
one bridge.
Yeah, it could be all bridges.
I don't think it's just one. I think it has to do with the consistency of many coming to a halt of that situation.
Okay. What do you think has been going on? I mean, somebody's talking about the atmosphere. I don't know about where you are, but there have been buku chemtrails around here.
I believe the opposite. I believe that they have to do the opposite part of it, is clean it up too. You can't just. So if they can put bad stuff in, they can also put good stuff in it.
Okay.
So I believe.
Well, I've heard that before, that it is good stuff now, but it's I don't know. You always wonder one way or another.
Yeah, I've been saying that for almost a year now, so I'm not sensing it's the bad stuff. So.
Well, something about it makes me sneeze. Quite a bit, actually. See, yeah, they're happening all over. Well, are the good guys financing the good stuff? Is that how that would work?
Well, the good guys would be the quantum system cleaning things up. They've been cleaning the highway, so I would not be surprised they're cleaning up what needs to be in our particle of air, that especially the fact how that affects the way we think.
Here's a question for you. Jen, will the West Coast be underwater, or will it be before this year is out?
I believe it'll be this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That is a big prediction on that. That is like the pit. The Hollywood is the pit, and that pit has to go down. It's a demise, you know, something that has to be seen and witnessed and known for what it was, and what you see on the top, but what is underneath is a completely different deal. So.
So underneath Hollywood, what do we got? Tunnels and domes and
darkness.
That kind of darkness. The same old, real ugly stuff.
Real ugly. I know they're cleaning out the Playboy Mansion too. It's all connected, and that had tunnels under connected tunnels and all that stuff too. So that's the whole thing. All the brands have to change, because we're not going to trust. We're going to be like this, like, nope, we don't trust it. You can't, all those name brands that you know of, after this is over and you watch everything and you look at everything, you're not going to trust anything. You're like, no way. Sorry. So why would they think that they could say, oh, come on back and we'll try again? No. They have to change the brands. They have to change the corporations. They have to change the names. They have to re-implement a different type of humanity trusting.
Well, like I was saying before, the amount of lies and misdirection and misinformation and so on is mind-boggling. And
right.
When people find out some of the things that we already know, and we're going to be surprised as well, I'm sure, it's going to cause a lot of mental health issues.
Mm-hmm. It's the white buses and the dark buses, and we're going to load them up on the dark buses or the white buses. It's going to be either one. But yeah, that's going to have to happen because the blue pill did so much damage, and they didn't care about the repercussions. They didn't care about how far they took it and how extreme. But we, as the red pill people, have to now fix the problem. Fix the mental health, get them back on the track, get them to make their own decisions.
Let's see. No, I'm just looking for some more questions. We could make me a billionaire tomorrow and I give away 99% of it.
No shit, right? Wouldn't that feel good? That would feel good.
Yeah, it would.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, there's truth in this. Place is rigged against each and every one of us because we are electromagnetic in a saltwater environment. We are the batteries. Yes, we are.
And boy, are we feeling like it this week.
Yes, exactly.
We're all dousing ourselves in salt, putting ourselves in water just to balance off this week. Just saying.
Oh, Tim Potter says, many give when they can, but too many just like to take as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the looters. Like, we've seen pictures of people running in, we don't know if it's BLM or Antifa or whoever those groups were, running into the stores and just grabbing whatever they could and running out. I couldn't do that. But anyway.
But then again, you need to look at those corporations that have ripped off those families in those areas. And
that's true. That's true. I thought of that too.
So some of those families right now, I'm just saying, and they're all stuck with the big pedo collage of corporations. So I don't feel sorry for them anymore.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
You mean
I'm
the
sure,
big companies that the stuff was stolen from? They've been working
Right.
against the people for forever and basically robbing the people blind.
right. And then putting insurance claims. Insurance is the biggest fraud out there. So, you know, and it's just, yeah. So it's a hard thing to look at. It on many views how you look at things, and yeah, I'm glad that
What do you think
Wally
about
World
this
is
one?
moving out of everywhere and being shut down. I'm glad for that too.
So when all governments fall, will we see the true draconian selves, or have they been removed already?
When all the government falls, will we all see the true draconian cells? Yes.
We'll actually see what they look like?
Yeah.
That
Because
should
even
be
they
interesting.
explained that people that are awakened already, and they'll see in things in layers and develop their sight in layers, just like they're hearing things now already. They'll be able to see it. The barrier of what they've protected us from seeing, I think our perception is going to change and be able to see. That's what it's adapting to accepting the new truth, but not listening to what society says is real and what isn't. And let your own perception look at it in details. So, yes, I believe that going in closer is going to help us process.
Okay. Here's another question for you. Have you heard about our water supply being breached? Is it true? I don't
I
think so.
believe that is from the 3D propaganda.
That's fear porn. Oh, Kevin, that's true. I don't have allergies either, and I've been sneezing more than usual. Quite a bit more, actually. Okay. Burger King is here in Dublin. I wouldn't eat there.
Right.
Here's one for you. What do you think about AI, good or bad?
Yeah. It depends. Well, I say 3D. I'm gonna say 3D AI. No. Big Brother 3D AI. 3D AI. No. New advanced technology, and I think they're going to have. It's not something that they can just go into and just take over. It's something that has to be through testing and processing and on a fairness. Let me tell you, because man has been the worst, and I mean, as in humans, taking from the cookies, feeding themselves, and then taking from others. So let's, and I'm thinking there's got to be a better system that comes in and makes things fair. So I'm about the AI that makes a fairness process in the society and makes so we get back to being a fair society. Yes, I'm not afraid of that.
Okay. What's this one? Jenny, are you familiar with the Red Shoe Society?
Yes.
So am I.
Hopefully all of them are 6 feet under the ground now.
Yes. Never to return, recycled.
Yes. But the innocent souls, how it's just beyond a sickness.
Yeah, and people are going to be surprised at the corporations that participated in dishonest shenanigans. They almost all did. That's a large percentage anyway.
Right.
Well, do you see them as being dissolved and taken over, or just completely gone and
dismantle?
Something totally
the word
new?
Spirit uses dismantle or burn to the ground. sent
Okay.
to ash, dismantled and burned to the ground.
Wow.
I mean, I want you to understand that watching that type of film, what that does to your soul, and that alone is going to put people in a state of, let's go burn that building down. I'm just telling you, it's coming. They know it, because I want you to see and heard what happened at Guantanamo Bay of one that was mouthing off and got himself killed for only what a human can only take so much before you're so evil, you need to be annihilated. I'm just saying, and when you put someone in that situation that hears that evilness, and you only can take it for a certain amount of time before you're like, I can't. You want to get rid of the evil off the plane of anything. So everybody, as a human that has a heart for those children, you only have a certain limit which you can withstand the evil.
Okay. Somebody's asking how long we have to be in the house for the black op.
It depends on
EBS, maybe.
Depends on how close you are to democratic cities. I don't believe a lot of the farm areas. I think maybe the most will be 3 days for rural areas.
You think it might last longer in the big cities? Is that what you're saying?
Because I think I've always said that they're going to isolate them, put a fence up, trap the rat, and filter them out on the buses and where they need to go. It's always about trapping them into the cities. Because they think the negative would think that would be the best place to hide. I can tell you what, they don't want to come out to the farmland because that is the place that they fear. Because they do not know what's on a road. They don't know what's in a hill that's hiding in the hill. They don't know where traps are. They're going to move to the cities. They're going to think they're going to go to a territory that they think they know, that they think is safe.
It really does feel good to give things away and dollars away to people in need.
I think that's why Trump does it so much.
It comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm even on a smaller level, like myself, for that example. Sometimes I give, to people in need that are, in the family too. And it always seems to come back.
It does. It does.
Okay, here's somebody's asking you, do you have any, name some of the projects you would like to see implemented for humanity?
Well, I think actually I want to go with animals. I'd like to see a lot of their food changed. I mean, I want you to look at some of the stuff that we feed them. And I'll start with dog
GMO corn.
Oh, God. What they're feeding them is not healthy either.
Yeah.
That is,
and then we eat that.
So what we're giving our animals is one of the first things that needs to be completely gutted and examined and fed true nutrients in the way that it should be, in a natural way. We got to start with them first. I honestly believe that, because they're getting sick too. And so that is if I had money, that would what I'd put it in is to animals first. And just, that's what I feel. So that is the thing for me. And the biggest thing for me, which you know and everybody, is the fact that I want to be able to have enough money to get these vehicles going. So we, like I said, I know we're a lot of remote viewing I did on where remains are that I can't get access to, or the Masons stop you from going and getting access to that and having peace for the families to be able to bring those remains back home. And I've seen it case after case after case, to the point that it's thrown in my face of them burning down evidence because they get paid to be criminals. So the Masons gotta go. The criminal police departments have to go, and they are criminals themselves. And I will tell you, one of the biggest criminal cases out there that I mean is toxified, in which Chase Eagleberg's case is saturated with dirty cops, hidden everything. There's been more than just one.
They do that kind of thing all the time. It happens at all levels of society.
And it was funny because I think it was a county over on that case, and the sheriff, he got caught with stealing drug out of the supply office, and I think it's a chain effect, and they're all coveting each other, covering that information. And I always told his mom that I think that Chance's case is just the Band-Aid that's going to be ripped off, and everything else is going to fall, because that whole county is saturated in dirt, money laundering, and drugs.
You should see the report to the governor, which is a book by a lawyer in Phoenix, Arizona, who has uncovered buku levels of corruption from, trusts and land deals and fraud and RICO operation. It's just unbelievable. That's essentially what the courts are. It's the courts, prosecutors, and so on. It's a RICO operation because they're all in on it.
Yeah,
there's a reason why so many people in the United States are incarcerated.
Need to be gutted. There are people in jail that should not be in jail, because the criminals are the ones that put them in jail. So don't be surprised of how many gets released, because they do that on purpose. They've been doing it for a while. It's a crime. I mean, there's
a big money trail. There's a huge money trail. I got figures. I can't. I haven't. But this came from a very reliable source. Just putting somebody in jail, they get $6,000 a day.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's
so corrupt.
By the time they get done, from county to county, the saturation of the evil that the police departments are in. And what's funny? The ones that come into police academies and stuff to do good, by the time they get done, of trying to do the good ones, they're those ones that stay clean. They're exhausted. They're tired. Either someone's trying to kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's saturated. It's saturated.
The good guys get rooted out.
Right.
Oops, excuse me. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can deal with this. Okay.
So I think we're almost at 8 o'clock. So I think
we're almost done anyway. Okay. All right.
So,
well,
I think pretty much everybody knows how to contact me, get to my website, get on Patreon.
Yeah. It's also on. Yeah. It's in the description of the video. So and I put I put that all in there. So if you want to get a hold of Jenny, she's available at jennysite.net. And just about everything that is right there, isn't it?
Right. Remote viewing, mediumship, classes, predictions, meditation, wills, artifacts. Yeah. So
Awesome.
so it'll be nice to do this again soon, but yeah, hopefully we have better news.
I'm going to bring this one up because I think this is something of interest. Well, wait a second. Yeah.
So previously we stopped by being brainwashed by churches, and so
Hang on one second, okay?
okay. So the biggest thing with me on this process is the fact that that's another society that comes to a point of the Christianity. They are going to be the hardest to accept that has been another program. So I think in that process, the churches and people are going to have the hardest time believing. They're not going to be able to forgive this type of evil.
I'm sorry, that was an urgent call.
That's okay. So it talks about like baseball, 3 strikes and you're out. No. Like Gail, I keep telling everybody, and I think Kimberly asked me this question. She said something about, she heard something about Lucifer and that he should be, that there was somebody mentioned something about him turning the other cheek, and I mean, 1 drop of a child's blood. That's just enough. There's no coming back from that.
There's no forgiveness for that.
No. And so you get into this. Well, it's not so evil. It is evil. It's the purest evil that you can get to. And so they don't get 3 strikes out. You touched an innocent child and you allowed them to suffer. And so there's no coming back from that.
Yeah. I couldn't forgive him. I couldn't.
Mm-mm. Who would trust him after? Come on.
And there is that doesn't go.
Look at nature does. Look at even nature and animals and how they deal with in their own societies and the way they dismantle one is out of control. And nature even has a way of dismantling that.
It's true. I'm cooking. Okay, well. Somebody's asking, what are these women even talking about? I don't know if you're listening, we were talking about. That's funny. Anyway, okay, I guess there's quite a few. Okay. Re-education coming have taught
yes.
What's right and wrong. Yeah, definitely.
And that's another area that man cannot be trusted in because of look at what it was bought off to do and bought into the program. So they have to be monitored and evaluated. And the most precious thing has to be make sure it's set in the good light direction. And which I think the technology is not coming from a human process anymore. It's going to come to a higher understanding. Alien based.
All right.
As I talk about the blue coil children, as they call them. They're super intelligent.
The blue what?
Coil children.
Foil?
Coil.
Oh, coil.
So it looks like a bluish. They're just, I had a question about this as in how our kids, the generations are getting smarter and smarter. And so they showed me this light blueness, but this energy that goes through these children. And it's a different type of intelligence that in the future, it's not going to be parents just raising these children. There's going to be a society that's helping them move themselves along. And I don't even know I would even say the word education. I call it vast downloads at a super pace of understanding. So Yes.
Yeah. It says, Lenore says, thank you. Thank you, Bill. Please put a notice out early when you are to go live. I don't always have time to do that. I mean, some of it automatically. I have enough trouble getting everything done that I do already. And I'm sure Jenny does as well. So that's supposed to happen automatically when you subscribe. So if you're not subscribed, please, and that helps quite a bit.
Right.
But I guarantee that you'll be notified either. But
right.
It's supposed to happen that way. So that being said, is there anything else you want to, any final words, Jenny? I think we covered an awful lot.
Just watch the bridges in the water. Bridges. Water.
Bridges. Okay, water and bridges. Watch the water, watch the bridges.
Cracks, volcanoes. I mean, I don't know. There's so many areas to look at. So, yeah.
The Earth is
in activation
mode. In activation. There you go. That's a good way of putting it. All right. Well, thanks, Jenny, for your time and energy, and we'll get together again.
Yeah. Well, like I would say, just stay in the light. Stay in the light. And just stay balanced as you can, because even though we're overly charged right now, it's got to come to a phase that it'll calm down.
You might think twice about driving bridges.
Right.
I just thought I might add that. But anyway. Well,
I have a strong sense about that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay in the light, shine light, and we'll see you again probably in a week or two. So thank you so much.
Okay. Good night.
Everyone. Good night. Let me get to my ending credits here. Here we go. Goodbye.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now. Don't look back now. Stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors.